Hey guys, VaulSC here, hope that you are doing well. I would like to announce that the Infinity Tabletop Simulator League is now in round 2. Round 1's over, we've completed our games, it's on to the map field testing, mission 2, round 2, all of your opponents are ready, the matches have been made, the pairings have been drawn. So head over to the spreadsheet and find out who your opponent is, DM them, get ready for your game, get ready to make yourself available for your game, submit your game, and we'll be on to round 3 before you know it. So really excited about that, guys. The other thing I'm really excited about is it was my last day of work today. I've completed with my full-time job. They let me go into the office and sort out all my personal effects. So as of now, I am free and I've got tons of time to look after you guys in the Infinity Tabletop Simulator League. We're doing a lot of organization around that and working on various projects and just going to have a really good time. Later in the year, I'll have the option of going back to my job at the same company or working somewhere else or whatnot. So we'll see what happens with that. But I just want to let you guys know what's going on with me. Let's have a look at the spreadsheet then, because it's exciting times. Going over to the bottom, so you'll see that there's a round 2 tab right down here at the bottom of the spreadsheet. If we click on that, we'll come over to the sheets. So the massive tournament field with almost everybody completing a game means we still have a ton of people, 140 matchups basically, or close to that, going into round 2. We're playing the winners versus the winners and the losers versus the losers, and hopefully the games will be a lot more close. The mission is also the kind of mission that results in some very close games as well. Now you need to scroll to the right to come over to the casual side of the league. Again, with casual, pretty much everybody finished their game, which means we've got a massive group of 30 going into round 2. I will be playing against a Bishop Wraith. Haven't played him before, but I know him. I've seen him in the Discord for a while. He does some really good work making some 3D terrain for us from scratch from Blender, which has been awesome. We used some of his building pieces in the last league, which was great to see. So, Combined Army versus Assassins. Looking forward to scheduling my game against Bishop Wraith and playing sometime in the weekend or during the week, because I am free just about any time. And of course the Code 1 guys, just about everybody from there finished their game as well. So head over to the Code 1 area and find out who your new opponent is going to be. In fact, I've copy pasted this particular list over to Code 1 right over here, where at the top you can see the round 2 matchup pairing now. Just about everybody finished their game, so again, we can put winners against winners, losers against losers. You can meet somebody new, have a new matchup, and continue your learning experience with Beginner Infinity. There were 4 people who didn't really submit a result, so you're welcome to go and complete your game that you were meant to complete against the guy that you were supposed to play round 1. We do have a record of that over here in the round 1 tab, right over here. So we had, I believe, Rattle Commander, Gypsy Jack, and so on. But for round 2, you're still welcome to complete that matchup. But there's also a new matchup for you where it's got Guyver Lord versus Rattle Commander and Gypsy Jack versus Pitts Pilot. Continue to reach out to this list of people who are willing to help you for their games, because those are a very helpful bunch of people and always willing to jump into Discord chat and let you know how to resolve certain things to make things quicker and easier. That's going to be really, really cool. I'm going to draw your attention to the whitelist over here. There's a group of people that, for whatever reason, can't commit to completing games due to time or something wrong with their computer, or just, you know, just a problem preventing them from completing their games. I'm surprised that it's such a small number, given that 200 people showed up to play. So if these people want to be re-entered into the league at any point in time, I'll try and make that possible. Again, we'll have a situation around 2 where there'll be a few people who have to drop out, leaving opponents without games. They'll be rematched, and these people might be able to sub in for others and get re-entered into the league. I do know that already we've had a couple of redraws, so again, Havoc and Al-Khalid have been put up against people who got draws in round 1. Those opponents have agreed to actually do that, so that's looking really good. I've got one guy who didn't manage to complete a round 1 because his opponent dropped, so he'll find a random opponent, whoever he likes, preferably Sapnipuas from Casual, who dropped down and didn't play a round 1. Sapnipuas also has the opportunity of playing this fellow here from White Banner for round 2, because he showed up late, didn't get an opponent. So there are various ways and means where we can get people who fell behind to be caught up. So I want to give everybody that chance, but I'm so glad that I'm not having to deal with that much, because most people are taking matters into their own hands. They're showing up for the games, they're playing the games and completing them and putting a score down, which makes life so much easier and more enjoyable for me. So that's really, really cool. As you can see, we've completed all of the data on time, and we had a really easy time of it with 2 people handling the data entry. And again, continue to be leaving your notes here in the notes field if there's something we need to know. For example, if you're in Tournament League and you're helping somebody complete their casual game and the score is going to count towards the casual result, we need to know that, because we need to make sure not to update your tournament score, just the score of the guy who is in the league that needs a result, if that makes sense. So everything going swimmingly well, according to plan. Really looking forward to the outcomes in round 2. Will there be some more upsets? Will there be a lot more beatdowns? Will there be a lot of draws? I'm expecting there to be a lot of close games with the new mission. Speaking of the new mission, a few people have been asking me questions about the map and about how the cards and everything work. Just a reminder that what you do is you show up and you roll for tableside and you do your deployment and you roll your metachemistry and you check your data tracker, and then, you know, before the first person spends their first order, you start dealing the cards at that point in time. With the missions that relate to an engineer or a doctor going over to the HVT, those ones started out as being quite easy, but then we errated and modified them to make them quite hard. You require a long skill to complete it. You've got to come back to your deployment zone. You can't use a G-servant to do that. But again, it's just an HVT, which is going to be quite close to you anyway. You can use smoke. You can spend a few orders reliably doing that. So it's actually not that hard. What can be hard is potentially getting your opponent's side of the board and, you know, hitting a piece of scenery with a decharge, for example. So there is that. People have been asking me what can and can't go up the ramp here, because there's a large section of the table which is this big grey rectangle. If you're Silhouette 3 or 4 or whatever, you can, but these guys, Silhouette 1 troops, can't actually go up the ramp, and that's deliberate. I had the chance to fix that, decided not to. Yes, it makes the Silhouette 1 stuff weaker, but I want to say this. Yes, it's a disadvantage to puppet bots and G-servants and tiger creatures, but they were never, the weakest thing in the game anyway, so I think people will still consider taking them. I'm still consider taking tiger creatures here because you can still just jump, right? That's just one long skill, and then you're free to start moving around and doing more stuff. So yes, you'll miss out on the extra short skill, you miss out on the dodge, but once you're up there, you generally don't really need to go back down again, and you can really move out and still get a lot done. Plus, you might not want to go up there anyway, so if you're just down here, the wall actually gives you a lot of cover for your Yud bot. And if you've got a TR bot covering this long line here, and your Sophotect happens just to be over this side of the table, then it's still kind of handy to have this bot here just to be repairing your piece of machinery, right? So it's still a pretty good choice, but look, it's up to you. You have had all of the time in the world to plan your list, because you know your opponent and their faction and what the map looks like and how the mission plays. So I'll leave it entirely up to you as to whether you put S1 stuff in your list, but I do want to make that overall comment. Hope you guys enjoy the map. Hope you guys enjoy the mission. Again, the reason for the mission being there is it's meant to be a bit of an experiment to see whether my attempt at easily improving highly classified and countermeasures is a success, or whether we get something which is a bit worse than what those missions were. I'd love your feedback on that. Cool, that's about it for me. I just want to come, as I always do, to provide a little bit more news on the 3D Infinity Miniatures project. The screen always slows down when that happens. Sometimes when you load up this room, there can be some errors. And look, this is not actually a problem with the mod per se. If you quit out of Tabletop Simulator and come back again, it usually fixes this. Sometimes the mod actually throws up a bit of a problem if it feels like you've loaded something up twice or it's matching something else that's already there. What I did previously before I hit record on this YouTube video is I went up to games here and I hit expand. So I think it's still treating that as a duplication. Let me just go up here and check. Yeah, so all of these ones are loading fine. So as you'll notice, what I've done is I've bagged the models up a bit more than in the past. So if you want, if you're looking for something specific, obviously load up the total collection and do a search. But note that the collections are generally here. Like if you're playing Yuching, you'll load up Zap's collection, you'll go through that. There is some more stuff over here for Zulu, and I've got some Yuching as well. Zulu's mostly got Yuching, but there are a few Mercs in there. We've got Antisocial Scar with finally some JSA, which is looking really, really cool. You can combine that with some of my NA2 to get a really good Ikari force if you want to. Then again, over here we've got Sangan, who has some Pano stuff, but also some other stuff which goes for Ikari and other NA. We've finally got some Nomads in there. Toasty sent us a massive bunch of them. Again, in my view here on screen, you're missing some models, but the solution to that is just reload Tabletop Simulator because I'm experiencing a little bit of a bug right now. Not much Hakislam just yet. Foka Healer's sent me a couple of stuff which hasn't been loaded in, but that's the next step, is getting a whole lot more of them there. We've got a whole bunch of Ariadna that you can again load through, a variety of different color schemes. Pez Alex has a lot of wolves and so forth. AJM is a bit more focused towards the tack, and Kamademo has most of the Caledonian stuff there. We've got a massive group from Zulu for 012, so they're pretty much covered. And of course, Micah Bainami is still there as well. So the collection's expanding every day. Please use these models for your Tournament League games because you're more than welcome to. That's what they're there for. And let us know if you'd like to contribute, or if you are asking for some specific models that you need us to get in there, and we'll continue to provide them. So this project going really, really well. The league's going really, really well. Continue to DM me if you have any problems. I've got a lot of free time, so I'm happy to respond to your emails and your DMs and your @me messages in the Discord. But things are going smoothly. Things are going great, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again for round 3. So have at it, guys. Go play your games.